Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday night coffee talk. Let's see, I see lots of people in the chat. Carrie and Sharon ear hustling while getting supper ready. We look forward to hearing what you are making. Tutu Cat, hey, good to see you. Let's see, and Rickwin is here, and Cynthia A. Oh, you love lemon balm. Oh, that's awesome. And Just Jen Delaney. Said bittersweet when it's coffee talk because it's coffee talk boo, but it's Sunday evening, which means we work tomorrow. I hear that. Hey, Gigi's here. Let's see. Oh, and Carrie has some new goals. So, and to try and be more positive. So this might be a nice recipe for you. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Oh, and let's see. Oh, and, hey, Shauna. Feels like I haven't seen you in forever. I don't know why, but hey, Hungry Heath, hey yo, you guys usually also just have dinner right before the live stream. So, yep, it was perfect because it was really beautiful and sunny out, but just a little bit nippy this morning, and we went to a park and got to see the rescue owls. So, actually, I said rescue owls. It wasn't owls this time. They had red-tailed hawks, red shoulder hawks, and 2 vulture turkeys in the rescue cages. So we always like to go and see those, and then we walked through, saw a baby turtle. I thought that was pretty cool. So I do have the yes, I'm going to do the Pina Colada pound cake tonight. So let's see. And let's see. Oh yeah, and Air Fry Annie says she did have a couple busy weekends last weekend. She was at her niece's at the graduation. I saw the graduation pictures. I think I've missed a lot of streams and stuff though too, because it has been just wildly way over busy. Hey Mike, nice to see you tonight. I'm gonna make the Keto Chow Pina Colada pound cake, only not in a pound cake. I saw someone posting that they made it in this mini bundt thing, and that was really appealing to me. So hopefully it comes out all right. So we'll make one and see how it comes out, and then after the live stream I'll decide if I'm going to make a whole bunch of them and put them into single serves, or if I'm going to pull out my silicone cake pan and make a cake. But I also got my honeycomb waffle maker just so we could try both and see how it works. So let's see. Oh, Just Jen said she missed the cook-along. Darn it, I always miss those cook-alongs, but we had a good day yesterday anyways. So, oh, and Justin said, but she's made the scotcheroos twice this week, and they're banned from her house because they are too delicious. She said dangerous, but I know what that means, delicious. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start a couple things just because this is kind of a lot of stuff to do in an hour. So, I know we're not tied to that real tight or anything, but since it is, I wanted to make sure that I give myself some time. Carrie is not the only person that I know that doesn't do caffeine, or which means a lot of the teas and stuff. And I know that if you are like strict hardcore carnivore, this is not going to work for you. There's nothing I can do about that. Have yourself some delightful chicken broth, or beef broth, or pork broth, or something. And but this, if you're a keto, is lovely. It does have a couple carbs in it from what we're going to use, but a few minutes before the live stream I went out and I snipped off my lemon balm. It smells so nice. And then also my mint. I can't really show you on the stream, but when you trim these, you're going at the top, and it comes in like these little sections, and in the little corners there's always like where the new leaves are going to come out. And you always trim between the new leaves. You want to make sure that you allow for new growth. So when you cut down here, it's right here, and the 2 new leaves should still be remaining at the top of the stem. You also want to make sure that you trim before they go to seed. If it goes to seed, it's too late. Don't trim it anymore. And so, you know, and there's my lovely mint. And it is real easy. The nice thing about these herbal infusions is you don't have to worry about taking the stems off. All of that is just fine. But after you cut it, you're just going to go and you're going to cut it, roll it up into a little wad here, and cut it into fairly thin, tiny little bits. You don't have to be perfect about it, but you also don't want to, you want to cut it right before you're going to steep it. I want to get this into the container before we talk about all of the other stuff. And then of course, like always, once stuff is cooking, we'll go back and talk about why these are awesome. So I also have the juice of 1 lime. Oh yeah, Dyson's sighting. I don't know where he went now, but he did just walk through. So that I'm going to go ahead and pour in here, and it can pool up in the bottom because it's going to benefit from the hot water. If you don't like it super tart, you might want to make sure that you don't use the entire lime. But I'm going for super strong and tart. I also have my hand of ginger. No, we're not going to use all of this, but I wanted to show you about how to deal with the ginger. You just pull off a piece, and the next thing I'll do is I'll vacuum seal this after the live stream, and it'll be good to go. So, but while not 100% necessary, I do like to scrape it just a little bit. So, oh, Mike says he's on a phone, so he's going to take a nap soon. I get that. I've done that on many a live stream. Oh, Exchange Student 2 has joined us. Welcome. And was going to fast today, but thought how they were going to watch this tonight. And also the grass-fed ribeye on markdown for $6. Oh yeah, that would do it for me. But for your ginger, you don't have to be super careful with it. You can just give it a light scrape with a spoon. And if there's some that remains on it, and you don't have to worry about every little bit in the finger, but you want to peel some of it off. And the primary reason you want to do that is because you want to expose the interior of the ginger and get the juices from that flowing. It will give you a spicier infusion, and also the exposure to the interior and the heat will help pull it all together. Now, I want to let you know up front, this is a very strong infusion. It will give you a nice punch in the face. I don't have sweetener in there, but most people will want sweetener. So, like I said, that was all it took. Oh, I missed like a whole little section here. So we don't have to be too fussy. But there you go. Took all the brown part off. Left a big mess on my counter. But it smells real nice already. Just sweep that right into the garbage disposal. Done. Now we're going to chop the ginger up. Hey Jackie, nice to see you. See, I feel like because I've been working real hard, I've actually missed seeing like a ton of people that I talk to all the time online and in live streams and on their videos. I'm like really way behind. But it is what it is. Oh, and Carrie says he wants the punch in the face without the sweetener. Yeah, it's not everybody's cake to have these super strong flavors, but they are all super complementary. The lemon balm, the mint, and the ginger, paired with that lime, it's really, really good. And I have my coffee mug in case I want to have it hot. But I also stuck a glass full of ice in the freezer in case it's been getting really warm in my house and I might want it cold. And I figured I could decide that on the fly, so I put ice in a glass and stuck it in the freezer so I could pull it out real easy. So my ginger is fairly chunky. You don't have to be crazy about it. It can go right in there because it'll steep. And now, here's the easy part. We've got our lime juice in there. I just take my cut up mint and I drop it in. And while it doesn't actually matter too much to me, I feel like the order of operations here matters a little bit because the leaves are really fluffy and the ginger will weigh it down and be on top. So, and now I'm just going to stuff my ginger right down on top. This is also nice if you have a glass pitcher that's real large. You can just increase the quantities that you use. And I gotta get a paper towel, you guys. There's little flakes of stuff everywhere. I can't take it. There we go. Alright, so your water needs to be boiling though, which is why you can't do it in a plastic pitcher. It has to be glass. So, got my lovely pitcher of water, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So, like, people get really intimidated doing these herbal infusions. I will tell you, there are all kinds of combinations. It doesn't turn dark like tea because it's mint leaves and ginger, which doesn't have a lot of color to it. But you can see it does get like that lime juice flavor look to it. And they will absorb some of the water as well as flavor in there pretty strong. You want to agitate it just a smidge. Oh, congratulations, Carrie. Carrie says he might be going into an apartment. He's been looking into making a very small garden inside, maybe after he gets moved in. Still in the situation with the house. Hey, but that sounds great. So, all we do is just let this sit for a while and infuse. It needs to go longer than you would with tea. Tea is very, very fast. Fresh herbs and like this, or roots like ginger and turmeric need to sit in that boiling water longer. I will tell you, you could even actually do it if you have a pot on the stove. You can put all of your stuff into the pot, and then you can go ahead and boil it for a while. I find this is adequate for me. Like, I mean, because the lid just burned my finger. It's fine. So, we can let that sit. So I don't get thirsty while I talk, I have my sparkling water because the seasonal flavors for the Poland Springs water are in at BJ's, and they're my favorite. But that's it for that, and then we'll come back and circle around to the whys and the tasting notes and all of that after we work on our cake. Oh, and Carrie says fresh herbs go quick through, boil it on the stove. So, yeah, that's true. So, let's see. I don't know. Why don't you guys tell me what else you've been up to? I think that if we hang tight, well, you know what, I'm going to wait just a little smidge longer. I did the pick a winner because I had keto chows to give away, which I forgot to bring down here to show the selection. It's in my office ready for mailing. I was really excited to give that away. But I'll go through everything here so that you know what we're doing, what we are putting in here. In the description, I put a link to the recipe on the Keto Chow website. So I have 1 cup. This is the other thing, guys. This cake is enormous. Don't let it fool you. It's a big cake, so it's a lot of ingredients, and that's okay. And by the way, it's going to be loud. My sifter is really clanky and loud, and it takes me a while to sift, but that's okay. Whoa, it's a caboodle. Nice to see you. Anyways, 1 cup of almond flour. For those of you who don't do almond flour, I'm sorry to tell you that I haven't found a nut-free flour that works in the recipe. I will tell you that pork rinds did not work in this particular recipe. They didn't, you know, like in a lot of baking recipes, you can replace almond flour 1-to-1 with pork rind crumbs. It didn't work in this. It got gummy, which was not a pleasurable thing in a pound cake where that's already very moist. But I'm going to go ahead and add in my 1 tablespoon, a whole tablespoon of baking powder. So it's really needs lift, but I will tell you, one of the things that that does work though is other nut flours. Pecan and macadamia nut flours both work, and work fine with the coconut. I did make some out of Brazil nuts because Brazil nuts have a nice profile, but they did not their flavor was not right with the coconut. So, but we have to sift all our ingredients, and I can add more on here in a second, but I need more room in my sifter. Hey Gigi, let's see. Oh, I saw you earlier. What are you? I don't know. Tell me what some of you all are doing in this nicer weather that we're starting to have. Anyways, I haven't sifted all of my almond flour, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my sweetener. The Keto Chow website recipe has a whole cup of granular erythritol, and that was too much for me. I found it a little bit too intense. I have a half a cup of sweetener, and it's half of it is allulose, and half of it is also is the lakanto monk fruit that has erythritol in it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Sift everything. This recipe also needs to be sifted. It's a necessary step. Just get rid of my cups. You know, we like to straighten as we go. Air Fried Auntie says she's wondering if the replacement for pork rinds also adds some coconut flour. She's done other, well, but hold on that, because the next step is a whole cup of coconut flour. And that is a lot of coconut flour. So, and that also needs sifted. Yeah, okay, I put too much in there at once because it was like heavy to turn. Oh, hey, thanks, Well Hungry Heath, who says he was watching TV and paused it just to be in our live stream. So, that's nice. Hey, what were you watching though? I'm curious. We always love to watch TV, but never wind up watching the good stuff that we think we want to watch. So let's see. Oh, Kara says the weather hasn't been that nice in Texas, maybe in the early morning, but we're not in the summer, and yesterday they were in the 90s. So melting. Yep. Yeah. You need a sprinkler in the yard so that you can you know, run around in your shorts like we did when we were kids. Oh, misspellings don't bother me. I just typo all the time, and my doctorate is in literature, so I feel like that's you know, a good authority to tell you a typo away. And oh, Hungry Heat says Tata TTFN. Oh, TTYL. Talk to you later. I enjoy, though. I think the typing is helpful because, like, this is boring. I'm just sifting flowers together, and it takes, like, 900 years. Oh, and Carrie says that mint is a flavoring agent, so... Oh, he's calling me Agent 99. That's hilarious. No, but it's true, it is. And it just takes so long, and it's hard to be patient. That's the other thing. This is like one of my favorite cakes, you know, and we freeze it so that we don't eat too much of it because it's really, it's for a cake, you know, it still has a fair bit of carbs in it. So you definitely have to stick to a serving. There we go. Whoops. Just gonna give a little mush here on some of the baking soda that was clumpy. And you always wind up with like a couple little crumbs. There you can see that little teeny bit. That's all right. Don't worry about it. So once all your dry ingredients are sifted, we set them aside. And I'm going to take a break here to give my infusion a little check. It smells amazing. I am going to pour some, and I think I'm going to pour it and let it cool down a little bit. So like I said, it doesn't get like dark brown because there's nothing brown in there. There's no tea in it. And I'm only going to pour a little bit because I want it to infuse a little bit more while I wait, and then I might get the ice out. But it smells really great. Keto Simple says, break time already? Yes. Hello, it's Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk is all break time. It's too hot for me to take a drink. But if you get your face in there, all of the aromas come up and it is so nice. Oh, exchange student 2 said Dad grilled a steak because of the nice weather. Oh, and Carrie says we have to watch out for the spearmint so that it doesn't spear us. So, I have my butter, and I creamed it ahead of time because I wanted to use the electric whisk for it, but it makes too much noise, and you know how I hate that. Hey, Hoofing It. Oh, weather has been great here. 46-mile bike ride yesterday. Nice. I'm still trying to work back to normal after my injury. It's so hard, and everything is not right yet. But I found that I didn't have too much issue with the 25 miles, so that's good. And all of the little short outings have been totally fine. And I made a big mistake here. You're supposed to cream the sweetener with the butter, not sift it in. So we're going to, hopefully, that it still works just fine. It all goes together. So we're going to cheat and hope it works out. I have my can of unsweetened full-fat coconut milk. This is the Thai Kitchen organic coconut milk. So I'm already making a mistake, and I'm just going to say hopefully it's not a detrimental mistake. I don't see how it's going to, I think it'll be fine. As long as everything is sifted. It might be harder to mix it all together, but I'm cool with that. But you take your stick of butter, and the recipe says unsalted. I don't ever have unsalted butter. I've always used salted. But we're gonna hope this works. And I'm gonna mix my butter and coconut milk. The butter is super soft, so it should mix right in. The coconut milk was not cold. Obviously, it's a shelf-stable can. Oh, Sharon says she cannot wait to go work at someone else's house for a few days. Hey. Oh, that's right, because y'all are getting ready for cruising. So, I will say my butter is not blending into the coconut milk as easy. I will also say, though, that the Keto Chow site says to mix on low so that you don't splash the coconut milk everywhere. And I am just aggressively whisking. And like I said, we would have if we had followed normal instructions, I would have also put the sweetener and creamed the sweetener with the butter. Oops, that's what I get. I should have printed it out so I was paying attention to the instructions instead of remembering them. And Jackie says a flat cake tastes just as good as a fluffy cake. That's the one thing about baking. Sometimes the smallest thing is a detriment. Yeah, in this case, I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. Mostly because the baking powder is in with the dry ingredients. So I know that creaming the butter with the sweetener sometimes adds a lift, but in keto baking, it's not always as critical. And my butter is super soft, and it is mixed right in. And the next thing that happens is we're going to mix our dry ingredients in with the wet ones. But I have 5 eggs. It's a lot of stuff. Like I said, a lot goes into this recipe. 5 eggs in here. And we just mix our eggs in so we have all of our wet ingredients. And you can see I've got my giant bowl. And it's going to be all of this batter. That's because it's supposed to fill an entire bundt cake. And Carrie says he would eat the cake. That he bets it will be the best. I will tell you that I think that unfortunately I don't remember her name, but the person who created this Pina Colada pound cake is my hero because it is really good. Alright, so I've got my wet ingredients all whisked together. And at some point, I'm going to switch from the whisk to my spatula that's sturdier as I mix these dry ingredients in. But let's see if this is cold enough for me to take a drink. Oh, That is heavenly. Hmm. Oh, and Tutu Q Cat says she doesn't know why she's never made the pound cake before because it's a Pina Colada freak. It's really nice. I enjoy it a lot. Jackie says she wants to make a lemon pound cake. So the only thing I can say is you'll have to find a different keto recipe for the lemon, only because this has so much coconut in it that it would be a lemon coconut cake, and that's the main reason the Pina Colada Keto Chow works best in it, which, by the way, I didn't sip my Pina Colada into the dry ingredients. You guys, I am like messing up tonight. This is why you come to my channel, so that you can know that everyone else is normal. So, I don't know, I've been like scattered, trying to get things done. I'm sure it's the whole job still getting to me a little, although it's gotten lots better in the past couple weeks. So, crossing my fingers. So as soon as I do this, before we start putting the dry ingredients in, there we go, there's my Keto Chow on top. All set. Oh, and Air Frying Annie says she'd like to try it with the key lime chow. Oh, that might be interesting, because the lime and the coconut would go well together. And I know it says to sprinkle the coconut on after. I never do that. I've got my coconut flakes, unsweetened coconut flakes, and I'm dumping them right in, so I can lose half of them in the whisk. And that was one of the alterations, which I wrote beneath the link that I did, and that is that I increased my coconut flakes from 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup. I just like coconut. I love coconut. So, now we're not doing too bad. Now I'm just going to start taking the dry ingredients. I'll tell you what, guys, do them a little at a time. Otherwise, it is too cumbersome. I guess it doesn't have to be. If you were using an electric mixer, it would probably be fine. Oh, it's coming. The batter's coming out lovely. No more worries. But it is a lot of batter. So, I mean, you can see my bowl is getting fuller and fuller. It's probably enough for the moment. And this is probably getting to the point where I need to switch to the spatula to incorporate. And bang some stuff around, because it gets too thick for the whisk, and I don't know. Like I said, if you were using an electric mixer, it's probably easier, but I hardly ever do, because I feel like I get a better idea of what's going on with my batters if I do it by hand. The other thing I want to warn you about is, do not worry about this recipe when it seems like it's way too dry or too thick. You know, it's okay. It's supposed to be that way. And Exchange Student 2 said it. Put the lime in the coconut. The lime might work nicely. I need another sip of this. Oh, by skipping the cook along last night, we might have missed seeing the new pecan butter recipe. I did miss seeing the new pecan butter recipe. It just was hard. Yesterday was a long day. I'll just tell you guys, I had a lot of stress, but also a super amazing, relaxing evening. The nice thing is that in my, we went to the farmer's market, and you'll see, because I actually filmed next week's Cheese Friday, and now I'll show you the results of the farmer's market. But the important thing is that it also was like super high stress for everyone. And the reason that is because we ride our bikes to the farmer's market, and we lock everything up. Let me get the last of this dry in. Which, by the way, even though it's a lot of ingredients, as you can see, none of this has been too hard. It's mostly just having the patience to sift and mix. It's really good. I may have overdone the lime a little bit, but I love lime. And so what's happening is I have the lime flavor, and then the mint hits, and then you get the ginger on the back for a little spicy back end. And I am super thrilled with it. So here we go. So I don't know, has like no one else made this pina colada pound cake? For some reason, I just assumed that when it came out, we all tried it like a whole bunch of times. I know I had posted my sunflower silicone pan version, but like, wow, this is coming out really sturdy. And that is why I switched to the heavy spatula. Also, it will overwhelm a handheld blender. So if you are going to use a mixer, you'll need something with like stand mixer strength. That's the other benefit to doing it by hand, is you can get everything incorporated. It's like cookie batter texture. I was trying to think of that, or like, you know, the really heavy brownie batters that you kind of have to smear in to the pan. That's the right texture. So let me show you. There's some dry down here still. There we go. But you can see, look. It's very, very sturdy. You didn't see that part. I mean, you did, so now you know we gotta wash our hands because I got my dirty fingers in there. But that's the nice thing about being up here with the sink, right? And that is the reason that I was not sure about using the waffle maker and the bundt pan, or the bundt maker. The bundt maker especially, because now I've got to scoop it in there. Oh, good night, Keto Simple or Dustin. Happy editing. See, you should just go live all the time. It's so much easier. Or do like me, I just leave all the mistakes and I don't edit at all. I just splice everything together. All right. Oh, and hoping it says if it was cookie batter texture, it might not make it to the oven. That is the thing. It's very tempting to not even put it in the oven. Now, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna have to scoop things in here. And that's why I saw the person who made it in there, and I knew the texture of the batter, so I'm just like super curious to see it cook up. It cooks a long time in the stove too. But this is a high temp. When you cook it in the oven, it has to cook for like an hour. So, I don't know. Let's find out. I hope that's not too full. How bad can it be? If not, I still have enough batter to make a whole cake. We're just going to set it to the side. I'm going to make a scoop like I would for a waffle. And throw it into my honeycomb waffler. Needs a wiping. All right, let's see. Oops. Let's see what happens in the waffle maker. Wouldn't that be amazing if it worked in waffles? Air frying Auntie, do you have a mesh colander? Let me grab mine. Let me set this aside. Wipe my finger off. Let me grab a sifter, a colander. Sorry to be out of camera view for a second. Do you have one of these? If you do, same thing. It's just the other one is easy and lazy because you just it's just more work because you have to shake it a lot, and sometimes use the spatula to kind of toss it around a little. All right, I'm gonna put these back where they belong. And now we wait. It's killing me. Also, I need a plate for when they come out. fork. Let's see. Rickwin says the idea is to combine the dry ingredients and break up the bigger bits. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, if you have a metal colander or with the mesh, that's plenty fine for the sieve. It says, Carrie says, don't look behind me. I had a donkey with the waffles behind me. What? You guys can't see him. He's just out of camera, but Dyson's back there. You probably saw him come in. Right, it says first a lot of work and now wait. You know, it wasn't really a lot of work. It's a lot of ingredients, but it's not that much work. And it goes really, as you can see, goes pretty quick. So now to talk about the herbal infusion. Yeah, and Air Fry Nanny says she usually skips the sifting process and thought she'd add it back in. For this one, sifting makes a difference in the end texture if you're baking the cake. Oh, Carrie, it was a Shrek joke. You know what? Now it took me a minute. I didn't catch it right. Now I get it. Oh, you got me on that one. So, the lime juice is high in vitamin C and helps with digestion. I know, that's a weird shocker. And both mint and ginger do the same thing. They help with efficiencies in digestion. Sorry, I beat you guys to some moderation there. Sorry, I can't help myself. Plus my mouse is right here. So they encourage efficient digestion and accelerate the gastric emptying, which sounds bad, but it's actually a good thing. What it does is it helps with the absorption of fats and breaking down of collagen, which, as you know, we love and we eat a lot of with our meats. So it helps aid with gut health and giving you a good medium for the absorption. Both the ginger and the mint have anti-inflammatory properties, and I want it to be clear, not like it's going to cure your arthritis or anything like that. So you didn't see what? You need me to go get the sifter again, or the colander? I got it. Okay, it's still stuck, so it's not ready yet. So let's see. Oh, and lemon balm and mint have the same properties. They basically, that the lemon balm or lemon verbena, you might hear it called, has a different flavor profile in the leaves, and it has an oil in the leaf that gives it that lemon taste and smell to the mint. So let's see, the ginger, the lime, the mint. I'm trying to make sure that I put everything. Yeah, the mint and the lemon balm. So yeah, and what a lot of people report is that, oh, the troll. Oh no, I didn't wait long enough for it to get there. It popped up and I was already on it and deleting it before the delay that it normally would get to. I was like super speedy. I was like, oh no, I'm on this today. I'm gonna make other mistakes, but not that one. So also the other thing is that a lot of people report, and they've done a lot of studies that proved it out, is that the strong smells from the mint and the ginger provide a calming effect. So it's very relaxing, and it often helps people wind down in the evenings. So those are also really good. I will say, so really though, the aid in digestion, a lot of times when you are sick, they'll tell you to have some mint tea, sometimes mint and chamomile, or have a ginger ale. That is because of the way it soothes the stomach and aids in the digestion, so it makes you feel better quickly. Okay, it's still, I need a different spatula. Let me see. My little one. It smells like it needs to open. Yeah. I don't know about the waffle, guys. It doesn't seem like it waffles. It smells really dark. I don't know about the waffle. Bundt cake looks promising though. We'll leave that a little longer. We won't make any more waffles though. So it doesn't waffle well. Yeah, it tastes okay. But nah, I would not continue with waffles. So, pound cake waffles, no. So, you see, it didn't get the, I don't know. It's not right. It's too dark. I mean, even though it looks darker than, I mean, it looks black on the camera, but even here. So, no to the waffle iron. I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but it's obviously too dark and I can smell like just starting to burn. I have a feeling that despite the fact that the individual who made them had an absolutely lovely experience with their bundt maker, that I'm going to find that instead of making a bunch of bundt cakes, I'm going to go ahead and get my silicone and make cake and just portion it out. But I can post a picture of the cake. What I do like is that I can see my coconut flakes in here. And Rickwin says, yeah, it's not the right texture to use for waffles. I agree, but worth trying it because you never know. Carrie says the waffle is just left then since I said it's not right. You know, it doesn't taste bad. I'm obviously not deterred from eating it. Needs more time. You can see the coconutty starting to get brown on here. I don't know. I might have to ask you if the individual, if they use something special for their bundt cake, because theirs look like all toasty brown all over, and this doesn't look like it's doing that. But what do I know? And maybe it's the difference in that I switch out the sweetener, but I think the sweetener works well for me from a taste standpoint. That also could be part of it. And Carrie says he would try it. And 22QCal says, hey, it's definitely worth a try. You never know what stuff is going to do. And like I said, it doesn't taste bad. And it's not raw or anything in the middle. So there's that. It's just not the right texture for a waffle. I'll keep checking it. Kind of makes me wish I had ice cream. But I don't. I'm going to get my ice because I'm too warm now. Oh, Rickwin, what kind of sweetener? I'm sure they followed the recipe off the Keto Chow site, so it would have been the 1 cup of granular erythritol. And I think that would make a huge difference in how it cooks up. Especially because I used only half the sweetener, and out of that half, only a quarter of it was a monkfruit erythritol blend, not even all erythritol. So iced is definitely a delight. So that would be a really good summer drink for a party. If you're serving it to regular people though, you do want to sweeten it. It's really close. I keep opening it and checking it. It's really close now. And so the bundt might work where the waffle does not. Oh, and Carrie, you're gonna make ice cream. You found a cream to use, but you couldn't get it yesterday. You have to use the cream and egg yolks, and then it's still carnivore. Yeah, you would definitely, yeah, I've seen that before too, the cream and the egg yolks. I mean, that's what real ice cream base is, cream and egg yolks. It's just that then you usually add sugar and your other ingredients. So there's zero reason, if you didn't mind having that you couldn't. And while it might affect the texture a little bit, you could melt in some little coconut oil to the base before you turn it into ice cream. Let's see. Air Fry Nanny says she finds Keto Chow sweet enough, but with the added nut flour, coconut flour, what about a few drops of liquid sucralose? Or do you need the granular for bulk? I found that only using the liquid sweetener, it was a massive failure. Like, it never got, like, I know pound cake is dense, but it didn't get a cooked sort of dense to it, if you know what I mean. So I could not eliminate all the sweetener. But you're right, I also find it plenty sweet. But I found like the half. I will say maybe I should try using all monk fruit erythritol, because allulose makes it softer. But that's a preference to me. Here we go. All right, let's see. Bloop. So yeah, so it's definitely, it looks nice. Looks good. I'm burning the crap out of my fingers, so I'm gonna stop that now. This seems much better. It probably even could have cooked just a little bit longer, but I am at too much of a hurry. I ate the waffle piece. I'm gonna bake it off in the oven. But oh yeah, this is much better. Look at that. I'm gonna come to the camera and show you that it's got that pound cake texture. See? So it's definitely just that the waffle iron is too hot. I think that's foggy, isn't it? You can see it got the right kind of brown on the bottom. So the regular waffle iron is just too hot and fast for it. So that, okay. All right then. It's a winner. Yeah, Carrie said he likes the idea of the coconut oil in the carnivore ice cream. I just need it to cool down enough so we can taste it. I'm satisfied with that. I would make more of these. And Carrie also agrees that it looks good for the bundt cake. That's the winner. Okay. Oh, in exchange for 2, you have 3 mini bundt cake dashes. Wow, nice. And Sharon says she's all for the texture, that it looks good. Yep. Oh yeah, and Carrie is mentioning we can also freeze the mint until you need it. Yes. You know what would be good is to take this and make it into ice cubes. Then you would have those flavor bombs in your like plain seltzered water and your nice summer beverages. That would be good. So delightful, both hot and cold. This is like super, super refreshing, and this is like extra soothing. Oh, that's the other thing. This infusion, if you have like the cold or like the congestion from the allergies, the scent from the ginger and the mint also contributes to loosening up the mucus. It opens up the pores for where the mucus come, and then also thins it out. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's another reason that they tell you to have hot teas and stuff when you're sick. They especially want you to have herbal teas, because the citrus coupled with like mints and gingers and turmerics all help with that, clearing that out. The bundt cake's the winner. Oh, it has 3 bunts in the 1 dash. Oh, ooh, I'm gonna have to look that up. I was half thinking that I would like to try and find some time to hit the last Bed Bath & Beyond in our area. They're down to like 60% off on whatever's remaining, and you never know what they're gonna have pulled out from the warehouse. Especially because they've got it to one location and they've taken the stuff from all of the other local ones and they've combined it into the one last location. So that's going to be super cool. Oh, Exchange Student 2 says she needs to see if they've got mint growing out back. They've had chocolate mint. Yeah, that's a nice mint. And if you've had it in the past, it will probably grow back because mint is very prolific. So, Yep, the bun cake was the big winner of the night. In fact, I'm willing to make one more of those, not to eat tonight, but just to set aside while we're here chatting. And once I get this cooking, let me pull up my notes from who won the pick a winner, because I knew I couldn't remember them from the very start to now. Drop some batter. Scoop it back up. For the Keto Chow winners, let's see who. The first one I can tell you I do remember, and that was Mike's Keto-rific Journey. So I don't think I've seen Mike on tonight, so I'll make sure that we get a message to him. But Mike's Keto-rific Journey won my Keto Chow bundle, and should make sure to email me at radicalgeek42@gmail.com with a shipping address. And it does take me a little extra time to ship, simply because I have to make a special trip, and I don't want to. Not that I'm just being funny, but you know what I mean. It's really out of the way, and because they're no good at taking the packages from the house, they just leave it there for days, and even with the little flag up, they won't do it. So let's see, Mike's Keto-rific Journey, and let's see, the pick a winner is still up. So let me. Oh, and Cindy Kiger. Cindy Kiger should send me an email at radicalgeek42 with a shipping address, because you won the package of Keto Chow. So, and I talked about that on last Cheese Friday with the Royal Hollandia Berry goat cheese. It's like and it's got a lot of good stuff in it, because it has a package of the sticky bun, a package of blueberry pie, it has an orange cream. What else did it have? I don't know. It had all of the new stuff. So, yeah. And I don't think Cindy could make it tonight, so we'll have to reach out to her as well. But yeah, Cindy Kiger and Mike's Keto-rific Journey. So let's see. Oh, Exchange 2 says there's only a little mint because Dad has been pulling it, and the blackberries have been taking over. Oh yeah, blackberries are probably the only thing more prolific than mint. But yeah, blackberries are awesome though. You gotta watch their roots though. Make sure that you double check that they haven't burrowed too far in the yard, because they are very stubborn about growing. Oh, and thank you, Attila, for posting the email address. So, I'm super enjoying. I'm going to have to put a thanks out there on the Keto Chow support group for the bun cake plan. Oh, and Air Fry Nanny says she's not sure she knows of either of these people. She must be out of touch, though. Cindy is in a lot of our regular groups. Mike's Keto-rific Journey is actually newer to this channel, so hopefully we start seeing him on some of our other live streams. But he left me some really nice comments, and seems real nice. I took a peek at his stuff. Looks real good. So, oh, and Exchange says, yeah, she was surprised that the blackberries took over the mint. Yeah, blackberries are, they are sturdy and strong. Oh, Airfry Nanny says when she was growing up, they borrowed the neighbor's goats for blackberry thinning. Hey, that's probably the only thing that's going to do it. Blackberries are hard to get rid of. But I was always of the mindset of why would you want to? Although we had to get rid of some raspberry bushes because they were right up against the house. And because of the invasiveness of the kind of roots that raspberries, blackberries, blueberries have, you know, was impacting the house. So we had to get rid of them. The other thing we had was a huge gooseberries patch, but we definitely killed that because it was too unwieldy, and also I'm not the biggest gooseberry fan. It's cool to have gooseberries, but we didn't really do anything with them. It was like, look at these cool gooseberries, and then that was pretty much it. So, but I wish that one of our raspberries had survived, but even the one that was further away did not survive the culling in the yard. But it was really cute because when Dyson was little, he would actually eat raspberries off the bush when they would come in. Oh, in Exchange Tune 2 says their red raspberries have been super small and fragile lately. Oh, I wonder, yeah, just need to figure out if there is a nutrient deficiency or what. That's interesting. It might be. It also just could be how much our weathers have changed. Because I know a lot of our plant life and our animals are a little bit different too. With the extended cold periods, stuff isn't ready to go the way it normally is. Some things that used to come up, you know, and then be stunned back are getting extended growth. Too soft still. All right. But, and then one last thing. There will most likely not be a Sunday night live stream next week. I am going to another convention. This convention is MarCon. It is a sci-fi convention, and it is smaller, but we are volunteering at the convention, so we won't even be checking. We'll be checking out of our hotel, and then we'll be at the convention until the very bitter end, which means I won't be home in time to put on the live stream. If some weird miracle happens and we manage to get home, maybe I'll do a surprise one, but you can pretty much just count that I'm not having a live stream next weekend due to being at MarCon. But so we'll try to get something out during the week, even though my time is a bit constrained. So, oh, I forgot to tell you about the farmers market. You guys, so we'd ride our bikes there. We wander all over. We get coffees at one of the coffee places, and then sit and relax. We're having a lovely time. We buy some really cool stuff, and decide it's time to go home. And I get to get my keys, which I usually keep on a carabiner attached to my undershirt here. For years, I have always kept all my keys here. You know, like I am, you know, still in 2nd grade. Because then I am guaranteed, like I've got the habit and I know they were there, but we get there to the lock and I flip out because my keys are gone, and I frantically start hunting for them, and you know, I'm wearing my leggings, so everything, you know, I'm in spandex, so you don't see any lumps, and I'm feeling, and we're looking everywhere and I don't find them. And we all finally decide Attila is going to quickly bike home because he's the fastest and is good at finding things, because I don't even remember where I put the spares. Could be in that drawer there, or could be in another drawer in the next room over, or it might be with the bike stuff, which would make a lot of logical sense. But regardless, we're going to have to hunt for it, or we're going to have to get the bolt cutters, which is... It is what it is. You would prefer not, because I actually just bought that lock. But we're there, and I say, okay, here are all the places to look. Give me a call. And instead, what I did was I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is see if they fell somewhere. If it maybe just came unclipped while I was looking through stuff or bending around. And I start going through the farmer's market again, only I'm looking at the ground. And one of the places we stopped where I looked through the cheeses extensively and spent some time talking with people. I really spent some time, and I was looking through there, and the person at the booth was like, hey, so what you doing? And I explained everything. And she's like, well, I'll help you look. And we started looking in the grass, and she says, I don't mean to be weird or anything, but are those your keys hanging in your back? And I was like, what? So they had worked their way up over the strap, and were like way back here, and we missed it. So, you know, talk about feeling dumb. They were there exactly where I put them, just on the wrong side. And I never noticed them shifting up over. So, had the heart pumping. It was very stressful. Anyway, I just unlocked and like raced home because, you know, then I felt bad. But hey, you know, it turned out it was still a lovely day. Even with that, even if we had to bolt cutter them off, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. And Air Fry Nanny says she hates losing things. Lately, she's been forgetting the safe place she's been putting things. Oh, speaking of forgetting, my bun cake. There we go. Whoops, I broke it in half. You can sit there. So, I was like, oh, you know, you feel dumb when stuff like that happens, but, you know, it wasn't the end of the world. Oh, and Hoofing It says that's awesome, not only finding them, but getting a good laugh. So, and on that note, we'll let this cool off, and I'll be able to put it away. I might put in another one, or decide to put the cake in, but it is time to end the live stream. It was great seeing you guys. I hope that I've encouraged you to try the Pina Colada pound cake. As you see, it's pretty flexible. It normally goes in a big bundt cake and cooks in the oven for 55 minutes. The recipe's in the link. And we'll see you now. I unplugged the waffle maker. I haven't decided if I am going to continue making bunts or to throw a whole big cake in the oven. So I haven't unplugged it yet. So, all right. You all have a nice one, and I will see you all real soon. All right. Good night. Chili sounds great, Air Fry Auntie. All right. Bye-bye.